Game one of the preseason is in the books for the Toronto Raptors. And man, was it fun. Watching some basketball again. Obviously meaningless basketball since it's preseason. But to see all the fellas back on the floor in the uniform in Edmonton, Alberta, taking on the Utah Jazz. And for the first half, honestly, it was a pretty tight game for the most part. But then the second half, the defense got tight. And the offense just started cruising. And the Raptors pull away with the 114-82 victory this evening against the Utah Jazz, who are now 1-0 in the preseason. Does it mean anything? No. And you know what? I could sit here and talk about all the main guys and what you see from Scotty and all this and that. But where's the fun in that? Preseason is about seeing other guys. And, you know, see what development. We talked about it in the preseason video yesterday. It's about development with these guys. Who's getting better? Who's taking that next step? Well, a guy that I'm looking at this year as a big piece of this team moving forward is Precious Achiuwa. You know, we saw the first half of the year, he was forcing things. Then once the All-Star break happened and he went to the Rising Stars game and realized he's a possible rising star, he really figured it out in the second half. The question was he going to continue to be that guy and take another step forward, or is he just going to kind of be there? Well, today, you know, in his first game, I thought he looked fantastic. The confidence did not waver. He was taking threes. He made a three as well. He was 1 of 2 from three-point range. But for me, it's the decision-making. We saw a play in the first quarter where he got the ball in transition and drove right down to the lane to the bucket. Now, we can all agree like 9 times out of 10, Precious Achiuwa's going to throw that thing down. But instead, he gets up in the air, gets this space between him and the defender, and he lays it up and through off the backboard. And I'm like, that is just a smooth, beautiful play. Precious of last year in the preseason, you'd see him out-dribble himself, try and slam it down. He might even miss the dunk because he's all over the place. But it was very smooth, all compact, not too much, nothing, not moving around too much. And it was a nice, smooth layup. A few possessions later, with like under 2 minutes to play in the first, he has a mano, drives on Lauri Markkanen and throws it down over top of him. And it's like, those are the things this guy can do. He can give you the finger roll layup. He can slam it home because he's strong as hell. And he also shot threes. The only thing for me that Precious Achiuwa's got to show me that he can get better at is shooting the free throws. If he can do that, this guy's going to be a damn good piece this year. Chris Boucher, we talked about in the second half of last season. You know, energy. Learn his role. He did. He figured out what he needs to do to stay in the NBA and be effective in the NBA. And he showed it again tonight. Now, again, it's preseason basketball. It doesn't mean a whole lot. It's everyone's first game. But I think he was spectacular. He had a double-double. 11, 10, and 1. 4 of 9 from the field. 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 1 of 2 from distance. Precious Achiuwa was also 4 of 8 from the field as well. Both guys who were huge pieces to that bench unit last year start the year really strong, right? Now, let's talk about some names that we don't talk about as much. One is DJ Wilson. We all knew when he got $1 million 10-day contracts with the Raptors and then got injured at the end of the year. We were all very impressed with DJ Wilson. We liked him pretty good. And you saw him out there today, and he made his presence known. 7 points, 6 boards, 3 dimes, 3 of 5 from the free throw line. Was 1 of 2 from distance. Again, made an impact. Was damn energy on the defensive end, and we'll talk about that very, very shortly, how I thought the team overall played incredible defense. And a guy that I've always rooted for, and I'm so happy he's with the Raptors, is Josh Jackson. 10 points and a couple boards today. 4 of 5 from the free throw from the field, and had a steal and a block. And you can tell, kid's very explosive. Got a couple of guys right off the dribble, just take it right to the 10, lay it up and through, like just blow by them. Now, in the regular season against a better team, yeah, that's not going to be able to happen. But I was very impressed with Josh Jackson. I thought he looked really good. Christian Koloko in his first game with the Raptors in the preseason, I thought he didn't look out of sorts. I thought he looked pretty solid in the minutes that he played. I really did. Now, let me briefly talk about the team as a whole, and then I'll just leave the discussion up to you guys. I thought from minute one, from the opening tip, they gave me a massive refresher of what this Raptor team is all about. And people are going to say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, they led the league in deflections, and they were near the top in steals all the time. And we were coming into the year, I'm like, okay, well, I haven't really thought about the Raptors a whole lot with the Jays doing what they're doing. The Leafs have already started, so it's like, okay, here come the Raptors now. And I'm like, oh, right. They're so damn aggressive on defense. I don't know how many times I saw deflected passes or, Fred VanVleet against Colin Sexton in the first half, all up in his grill and jacked up because he made him turn the ball over. This is a preseason game, and he's doing this stuff. The team overall, Scotty Barnes was in the lane. I counted like 3 deflections in the first half alone from Scotty B. It looked really good. Causing turnovers, just causing mayhem, and they did a pretty good job rebounding the ball in the first half. Again, I really liked what they did, and they showed us Raptor basketball, and you know what that is, guys? And I know people are going to say, well, you need superstar, this, that. And yes, you do. But what's so subtle is these guys going to play in LA in the offseason together. Almost the entire roster was there, working on their craft together, where they could have spent their off season, working in a gym, a local gym, just shooting around, this, that. No, they were with Rico Hines, who obviously is a part of the Raptors now, and they were just working. And the continuity was there. Yeah, you're going to have some turnovers here. You're going to have some missed passes here. Of course you are. It's preseason. But overall, for the first preseason game, he didn't look half bad. Obviously, you won 114-82, so you're doing pretty damn good for yourself. But you know what, guys? There's not much else to say. We can talk about how Scotty looked pretty good. I thought he looked, again, we all know this year he's going to get a lot more touches on offense, a lot more leading the charge on offense. I thought he looked really good. He looked solid, just bully ball down in the paint, as he likes to do. And his mid-range game has really evolved. Looked great. Pascal drained a 3, I believe, and it got a couple at least one and one. Fred knocked down a couple threes. GT knocked down a couple threes. OG knocked down the first 3 of the game. He looks good as well. Again, everybody made it happen today. They all look like they've been playing for months, and they have been. You love to see it. I didn't write down who they're playing next, when they're playing next, so you guys can let me know in the comments. All right? I'll write it in the description because I'll look it up after this. But in the meantime, you guys can let me know in the comments when the Raptors play next. And what'd you think of Game 1 of the preseason for the Toronto Raptors? What'd you like? What'd you not like? All right? Let me know all that stuff, guys. Who'd you like? Who'd you not like? Let me know about that stuff as well. All right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. The first preseason game of the Toronto Raptors. 114-82 winners over the Utah Jazz. Smack the like button if you guys enjoyed this one. Hit the subscribe button if you guys are not already, because this is going to be a lot of basketball content coming your way this year. Twitter link is down below, so follow up, send me a DM to that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys. God, I hate when I have to do this. I have to think of 3 teams. Okay, we got the Leafs tomorrow in Montreal taking on the Habs. I'm going to guess Matt Murray's getting that start. As for the Blue Jays, they're in Baltimore tomorrow taking on the Orioles. Barrios and Dean Kramer is the pitching matchup there at 7:05. And as for the Toronto Raptors, you guys can let me know in the comments below. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I am so glad to be back. Thank you guys. I really do appreciate it as always, and can't wait for the 2022-2023 season for the Toronto Raptors, right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the ball game tonight. Talk to you guys then.